Hi, this is the 13th video, and in this video, I kind of want to uh, take this chance to talk about the interaction I had today. Today, I had the opportunity to kind of spend time with a perp that lives with me. This is a building of about about four levels of rooms, and this is a guy who is on the first floor, and you know he's originally from this it's around the same place where I'm from in Africa. And I saw this door open. I was like, you know what? I always kind of like to see kind of spending time with perps, and then I know the perps. This is I know they make it clear. They go through the whole script and whatever. It's not the type that just like you question yourself and who lives here. And so I got the opportunity to spend some time um, and play video games with him. He's a gamer, and he's playing a soccer game. Um, so it was interesting. So while we're playing, first of all, this is a game I haven't played 8 years, maybe decade, or close to it. But fun. It was fun. It was a long time since I've played. Anyways, I enjoyed playing it, and I was kind of also trying to you know get a gauge of what kind of person he is really, and figure out how they delude themselves into doing this. So while we're playing, obviously I was like, yeah, just play as score as many goals as you want. At the end of the day, I know I'm not good. I just enjoy playing. It's not. I don't expect to win this game. It's just I just play. And while we're playing, he was trying to kind of interact with me and try to talk to me and talk about, like, me. Have you done this? Have you done it? And with me, I can never claim to be an angel. Um, it's funny because I was, sometimes some of the conversation I can hear them trying to talk about me. It's like, yeah, he's not innocent, and I understand what it means, but I think what they're trying to say is like this guy is not perfect, which that's true. I'm not perfect. I'm no angel, but I'm far from what they're trying to put me in. But the funny thing is, like, they put themselves out of all the equations when they talk about you know innocent or not, as if their hands, are not actually bloody. Where as I know they are the bottom feeders, but part of this program makes it you inherit whatever they've done. Just because that's the program, and that's what they've done. Unless you delude yourself into not looking into it. But anyway, so we're talking, and I was telling about some of my stories when I was younger, and so yeah, when I was younger, I indulge, I have fun, and um, my college days and whatnot. But and I talk about it freely, knowing that you try to always kind of manufacture something else, change into something else. So when I talk about it, I try to be transparent about it. Just I talk about it, but when I ask about, what about you? What, he's a young person. And he tries to place this righteous Christian guy. He was telling me about some verses in the Bible, uh, and while we were talking, he was like, yeah, I've heard you've been listening to a lot of news lately. He's like, yeah, yeah, I've been listening to a lot of news. And I tried to bring something about, like, yeah, I've also heard about, like, mass shooting stuff. What's going on with that? Trying to kind of tell him that I know what you guys do, and I've seen some of the results, the end result of some of your experiments, and some of the end result of the people you've involved in this program. And he was like, oh yeah, the people who do that, you know, they're, they're just animals and stuff. I'm like, yeah, some of them, they used to be decent people, and out of nowhere, something went off, and um, something triggered. Anyways, he changed the subject as quick as he could, and kept talking about random stuff. And in all his stories, he was trying to tell us some of his story, whatever his stories, by trying to use some of, of something that I could relate to, right? And that's a way to kind of connect. And but his story was always going to the extreme, like too far, where like, but it seems like he was trying to make me paint something that was. So I noticed that. So I called him out. I was like, "Oh man, you just a lie, huh?" And he would just laugh it off. And I kept, you know, seeing what he says when I call him up on things. And he at one point he tried to get mad. I'm like, "You want me to spell it out?" And at some point he was like, "Yeah, don't worry. I'm gonna know exactly what's gonna happen, whatever." And basically, the way his facade is very simple. Um, he he literally refused to accept the reality that he's part of a program that do terrible things, right? The way he sees it, he kind of thinks this like evolution. He sees it as, first, this is it's a program that is meant to get rid of terrible people. Uh, at least that's what he was starting to present. And then he tries to focus on, it's about evolution, and you gotta move on. And looking at him, he's trying to go everywhere with it. You know, in reality, he just refuses to see what he's doing as what it is, or what he's part of, or what he's witnessing as what it is. To the point where he keeps trying to grab on something, and to the point where it's ridiculous, right? I don't know if this is his first. I don't know if this is his last. I don't know that, but he surely didn't want to be around anything truthful. He really wanted to focus on me, and then when he was on me, he tried to focus on certain things. And when I tried to bring it back to this program, he really didn't want to talk too much about it or even get close to it. Just randomly talk about, hey, did you hear about this new thing Elon Musk is working on, the Neuralink? And don't you think it's kind of crazy? He was like so quick to change subject to something else, and I was like, yeah, yeah, you know, I kept trying to bring it back to like, yeah, what do you think? And this is somebody who's supposed to be an engineer. He's sure sounds like he's an intellectual, um, but he is very reliant on the supportive system that they have right now. I feel like when somebody feels like what they're doing is wrong, they have somebody, or they can lay on somebody, hoping that this person's going to put them back on the right path, on their right path, which is deluding themselves into thinking this is such a justifiable deed, and when they're all just taking advantage of something. And there are definitely, and I, when I mean the lowest of the low, is just because they refuse to accept the reality of who they are and what they are. Now, when they're with me and they try to mumble something or scream something, or you know I've seen them exactly for what they are, and I'm like that close to just like say I know what you're, and but I know at the same time within which boundaries I need to stay in, because if I go too far, then this it could go somewhere else, and if I, that's I will never want. And I've said, I kept saying in my videos, do not hurt yourself and do not hurt others. Um, and I know in the past, target individuals have hurt others and have hurt themselves, because the constant harassment, the constant vilification, the constant falsifying, the constant torture, the constant sexual assault, the constant sleep deprivation, the constant organ, um, the constant manipulation of organs in different part of their body. It gets to somebody, the constant psychological torture, the mental torture, the spiritual torture will push somebody to do something terrible. And the fact that while I was conversing with them, I could feel my thoughts and even some of my wording was almost forced. And I know a lot of target individual, this that forced speech when you want to say something, but a different word comes out. And I go with it is, but when I get the opportunity to talk to one of them, like him, who tries to play the Mr. Mr. Righteous Christian man, who is very far from it. And I keep trying to saying to him, just because you know the verses in this Bible does not make you a righteous individual. And I'm really pointing out to him, like, wait, I'm trying to say what you're doing is as right as it gets, and you try to play this game of I see through you. You're an opportunist. You are a you have no real moral. This Bible for you is just something to a badge. You are far from what you're trying to be, and for you to be okay with hacking somebody's mind and putting all this disgusting thing that that's been input in as an intellectual man, and that that it's a system to this, there's a tactic to this, that that this can be pushed to the point where others get hurt, that that it's not the only one, that this surrounding is all rehearsed for this, that I was in this position because people that aren't the nice, not great people put me in. It was interesting. But yeah, so I just wanted to really to address this and uh, make a video about it, just because sometimes moments like this I like to record, because that's when um, I feel more comfortable, more inspired talking about it, just because it's just fresh, and my thoughts are, it just happened. Next time I'll try to have some more videos. Obviously, I don't even need to show the faces, and I keep it blurred. But you know, seeing what they are, as much as they're trying to force you into this persona, as much as they're trying to vilify you, as much as they're trying to degrade you, you know, if they keep ramming in these things all the time in your head, as a human being, you tend to start thinking that way. But when you have a chance to interact with the people who say those things, and you see who they are, and you see how vulnerable they are, and you see, the shame they have. He tried to kind of, I don't know, everybody, his shame is a little less visible, but at some point they have a shame that comes out. Um, and when you see that in them, or when you see that shame, and then when that facade kind of fades a little bit, you know, they can't hide that. And when you see that, it wakes you up and it makes you really angry. From afar, from remotely, you can hear things. From even the V2 kids, you hear things. It's different. You don't see who says them. But as soon as you get a glimpse of the people behind this, or at least some of the bottom videos, you're like, okay, I get it. I get it. It's a type of brainwashing that's constant. And you see who they are in. Mind you, I'm in New York City, and this is not like a small little. So you understand how big, I mean, you understand a little more that this is just such a terrible program that's just meant for one thing: take advantage of a target and run that individual to the ground. If that happens, if it means the person does something terrible, it doesn't matter. Collateral damage. But I can assure you that when you see them, when they even talk, the, all that, all this godlike, those godlike, things they do, when you see them as vulnerable as they are, you understand that this is just, yeah, it's just a system. It's a way to break you, and at the same time to show the world that this is what we're doing. But they're all shameless individuals. Um, I know they're not the people pulling the strings. It's very far from them. Um, but however they present themselves, whatever intellect they have, they can be parents with their kids. They can have their kids do the same thing to you. They can be a group of elderly people. The shame is constant for them. You see it through everybody. Um, and so, so just want to take this time to talk about it. I know this is longer than I wanted, but just guys, no matter who is doing the harassment, the gang stalking, no matter whoever the perps are, know that they will have shame. They might be hidden away. They might delude themselves in a certain way. They might think, okay, you're not. They might say things like, "Oh, you're not perfect," or "You're not innocent." They could just bluntly thinking that, okay, well, you're talking about perfection. You're talking about innocence with the disturbing crap you do to people, or the program is doing to people. How many? Do you know how many people might have died from this? Do you know how many people might have been tortured? Do you know how many people might have been sexually tortured? Do you know how many people might have killed because of this? That's something that they can never go too far with. So do not fall for it. I know when you see some people and you imagine them being participants in this, it can just take you back. But do not fall. Do not fall. Stay strong. However they're trying to brainwash you, however they're trying to vilify you, know that nobody's perfect. And you don't deserve any zero, any of that. Nothing. Nothing. And justice will be done for what they've done to us and to the ones that are no longer with us. One that ended up hurting themselves and hurting others. God bless you guys. Thank you.
Sorry for the mess. This is a man who doesn't expect it. I don't use the AC.
Why?
It gets too cold.
Dude, it's summer.
It gets too cold sometimes.
This room's pretty small.
Yeah.
Is that an 9.7?
Huh?
9.7? What book is this?
I'll show you. It's a good book.
Oh, that's the book you're reading. You're trying to be a sorcerer.
That's a magician.